it's very much appreciated. I think that it's a great opportunity for us to all come together and have a sounding board for how folks are feeling out here in Rosamond. And what I understand by some of the discussions that have happened here in the last couple of months, that some people have expressed concerns about the solar developments and the dust that may or may not be caused by the solar development. And so my field reps, Brian and Ryan, they've been here both different times, and they also conveyed to me the concerns that were expressed. And so what we did, Lorelei and I, we called a meeting of all the solar developers that develop out here in the Rosamond area. And we sat around and had a round table with them and talked about what they're doing to mitigate dust, what challenges they have, and potentially what we can do in the future along those lines. In addition to that, I drove around and toured every single solar facility that was here in Eastern Kern. One of the things that I took away from the meeting, I would say, is that no one solar development is the same as the other. They all come with their own challenges when it comes to dust mitigation and development. Some of these sites that were fallow farmland that had been irrigated or farmed recently, it was very easy to put down some seeds, some native grasses, some alfalfa, other types of barley, whatever it might be, and to have that take very quickly to the soil and grow, start to grow, and by doing that, the roots create a binding agent for the dust and helps to stabilize the soil. Other areas, if the farmland hasn't been farmed recently, have a lot more challenges because the ground is very dry. That requires more water. It's more difficult to get it to get the seeds to germinate and begin to grow. Other properties, say if they were, for instance, an area where they were storing equipment for farming operations, the soil was very compacted, and it was next to impossible to get anything on that site to grow anything. And so what they're using in that case are soil binding agents, soil glue basically, that glues the soil and stabilizes it. Some are using hydro mulch, which is like a wet mulch that also has a binding agent for the soil. Once again, I appreciate everybody giving us the opportunity to be here. I know that there have been some questions at the RMAC about the medical marijuana dispensaries. And there are currently 4 dispensaries that we know of in the county that are operating in violation of Measure G, which was the voter enacted measure that the Board of Supervisors put on the ballot back in 2012. Unfortunately, 3 of those 4 are in Rosamond.
Right.
Yeah. And there's, we can imagine where the bulk of the clientele are coming from that are going to all those dispensaries. But I want to talk a little bit about what the county is doing to enforce Measure G right now, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the legal challenges to Measure G that the dispensary's attorneys have brought, and give you an idea where we're going to go forward. Now, I'm not an attorney, so I'm going to read off some notes here. First of all, what we're doing to enforce Measure G is we have our Code Compliance Division and also our Sheriff's Department that are both working in tandem. And what they're doing is they're monitoring the dispensaries, and the county code enforcement are engaged in obtaining what's called inspection warrants. They have to go into the premises, they get a warrant to go into the premises and to inspect their operations and basically see what they're doing. And so the Board of Supervisors, we have authorized our county council to prosecute a civil lawsuit to enforce the county's zoning ordinance, which includes Measure G against a particular dispensary that's in Oildale. We had some success with that. In that particular lawsuit, we obtained a temporary restraining order, and preliminary injunction against that dispensary in Oildale, and that's called the Green Coast Cooperative, and also against its operators and the landlord.
This is Stetson and 35th at about 12:30 on August 20th. And what's happening is grading for models for a new track called Town Center, part of Legacy Homes. Now's the time to build.
Yeah, real estate friends of mine say there's not a big market for homes for sale right now.
Yeah, the inventory's gone down.
Low, you know,
yeah. Oh, I think so. Okay, Rudy, and you're with High Desert Engineering, and I'm really amazed that you guys are grading out here today in the middle of summer. It's dry, but there's not a speck of dust around here.
Yeah, no, we've been doing pre-water ahead of us so that when we start moving the dirt, it keeps the dust down. It's already some moisture in it.
A lot of moisture in the ground.
Yeah, keep a water truck running outside machines.
Yeah, that's really important. The people here in Rosamond moved out to the desert, but don't expect to have a lot of dust, but all the new construction with turbines and solar panels and everything has created some.
Not only the winds too, though.
Well, that's always the winds.
We do our best to keep the dust down.
Well, you're doing a good job. Thanks. Yeah.